Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Shanghai WGL Summer, the $60,000 World Championship of Warcraft 3, the Frozen Throne. And it's day 5, that is the end of the group stage. We say goodbye to 4 players and welcome 4 other to the top 8, where 120, TH, Moon and Happy are already waiting for their opponents. There's so many storylines here today, there's so much tension in the air. It's going to be an unbelievable day with basically a lot of 50-50 matchups here today.
Yeah, also very dramatic day. The first time we have 4 times good news for 4 players, and we have to say goodbye to 4 more. From the 4 that already have qualified, those are the big names, those are the favorites, those are the stars in the scene. Moon, 120, Happy, TH. But today, some of the underdogs have a chance, because if you just look at these names on paper, Chimiko, Sok, they haven't been too strong for too long. You wouldn't think that they would be caliber level players for top 8, but they have been looking really good lately, and they definitely have a chance against some of these bigger names.
And we still have one Western player in the race, that is Cash. His opponent Focus, they faced each other in the winner bracket semi-final, but spoiler alert, it's not going to be the same matchup.
Oh, I didn't know yet.
Alright, but yeah, we have 4 matches, and the first one is going to be epic! It's Infi versus LawLiet, Rogue Warriors versus Newbie, China versus Korea. Is there more to say about this game dating back to WCA 2015? This is a legendary match. And Infi, one of the last hopes for China. It could be an utter disaster for the motherland of Warcraft, because only TH is qualified for the top 4 so far. Infi and Fly still in the race. The Iceman was knocked down by 120 2 days ago.
He came into this tournament as one of the top 4 favorites, probably, but didn't make it out of his first place. But of course, that was a crazy group. Now he's going up against LawLiet. OC, of course, earlier disqualified or knocked out, and now LawLiet going to be battling for Korea and for the Night Elves here to have another one represented in the top 8.
And LawLiet, will he be the second newbie player to knock down Infi or out Infi? That would be quite a slap in the face for the former world champion, the tower race back in the day. Oh boy. If we look back to 2015, it was LawLiet's Warden that eliminated Infi from WCA 2015, and I could totally see the same thing here, but it depends on the maps, of course, a lot. The Warden is not playable on all the maps. In general, LawLiet does not seem to have the best mindset. I think he is struggling quite hard finding answers to Infi and Human. He's so afraid of the Thunderclap. That's what he told me. I played so much and Thunderclap always destroys me. He can't find an answer to that. I think we did a little bit of pep talk with him. He wanted to play so many crazy strategies, or he proposed a lot of crazy strategies. And we were like, dude, trust your Warden. It's the biggest weapon you have. Infi will be expecting this for sure, but I think if LawLiet plays the Warden like the best he can, Infi will be in trouble.
Yeah, on certain maps the Warden is still an outstanding hero. Terran Stand, Echo Isles comes to mind, but it will be somewhat map dependent, of course. We're going to take a look at the schedule here for what we have. Well, on day number 5 and on the days moving forward, as Neo said, this is going to be our last day of the first group stage. Then we're going to have 1 day off, a media day, and then we'll be returning on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the final 3 days.
Our schedule for today, Infi versus LawLiet as introduced already. Then it's time for Russia and MTW to step it up against Focus. Chimiko versus Fly in yet another Korea versus China battle. And in the end, a Korean derby between Sok and Lin. 2 newbie players, 2 Rogue Warriors. That's gonna be exciting, man. Whose clan comes up on top, as team competition will be more important once Reforged comes out. And that would be quite a big statement if only 1 RW player makes it, or only 1 newbie player. Chances for that are there. So it's time for the maps, I guess. Oh no, first the player introduction. Do these guys need an introduction? I'm not too sure. Infi the Iceman won the very first Gold League for Warcraft 3, made it into another final, but was defeated by 120 as he was 2 days ago here in Shanghai in the winners finals. 0-2. That was quite a statement by 120. Infi seemingly no chance, had the wrong ideas, maybe not too prepared, or 120 just outmatched him. He has to have a better solution for his opponent here today. LawLiet was also a victim of 120 in the winner bracket semi-final, but only 1-2. then against OC, that was quite a walk in the park with awesome micro moves, a few scenes for the highlight reels. So he should be in shape. He still has an injured arm. You don't see it at the moment because he took the bandage off, because it hinders him a little. But he said, it's getting better. I should be fine. I'm prepared. So let's hope it's all for the best here.
The one map he won against 1-0, by the way, in case you guys didn't see it, was with the Warden. Does that tell him something? Is that going to be his hero of choice? It really seems like this is where he's the strongest. Back in 2015, it was amazing how basically one man changed the meta. At the moment, he is not the one who has discovered this new style, who is dominating this matchup, who makes all the humans in the world afraid of him. He seems a little bit more afraid of the humans himself at the moment.
Yeah, that goes for basically everyone. We have 3 humans still here today, still in the race with Sok and Chimiko playing later. We could have basically a perfect race distribution, but LawLiet is kind of the last hope for Night Elves, as Moon is qualified and he's the last remaining one with 4 Night Elves eliminated yesterday. LawLiet vetoes Concealed Hills and Last Refuge. Infi gets rid of Twisted and Amazonia, leaving Echo and Terranas and Northern Isles in. This is an invitation to a Warden. Infi picking Terranas stand.
It is also a very good MK first map and human map, but it's also very good for the Warden especially. I thought he was going to eliminate Echo Isles and then leave AZ in the pool. AZ is very good for a keeper, yes, but unplayable for a Warden. Seems like Infi thinks he's got the Warden game figured out.
Oh, that looks like confidence from Infi here on the left-hand side. This is do or die. This is about elimination. Whoever loses 2 maps is out. Whoever wins 2 maps goes into the top 8 alongside Moon, 1-0, TH, and Happy. Will it be Infi? Will it be LawLiet? We will see it in just a matter of seconds. Northern Isles, the first set to start things off. Who will take the lead in this best of 3?
One of these world-class players we will have to say goodbye to. Group A, just a little too tough with 3 unbelievably powerful players in there, and the top 8 will be so extremely competitive. LawLiet in the top right in the blue here. He is very strong with the Warden. Can you play a Warden here? I've never seen it. Would be hard to make work, and also this is such a great keeper map. It would greatly surprise me to see anything else than the keeper of the world.
We were talking about this in the bus, and LawLiet spent a couple of hours, if I'm informed correctly, trying to find creep routes to make the Warden work. We will see if he has a solution to that, and we will see Infi's first hero in a second. Infi has been part of every single Gold League, just missed 1 playoff. That was in winter 2017 when Focus, of all people, knocked him out. Archmage for the Chinese, Warden for LawLiet.
Damn!
Apparently, he found that very creep route. The Korean, 28 years old, been a pro Warcraft player since 2011, part of 4 Gold Leagues. He had a little bit of a slump in 2016 and early 17, but he is back. 3 consecutive participations, and every single time he made it to the playoffs since winter 2017. 1 streak will be broken.
I'm really interested to see how this works out. Again, I've never seen Warden here before, but LawLiet, he is not only the king of the Warden, he's also the king of creeping. The creep routes I have seen this guy do. Back when Turtle Rock was in the pool, he figured out a way to creep the Ogre Lord with 1 Ancient of War, 1 Archer, and a Wisp with blocking and some other insanity. Does Infi suspect this? Does he have this in his playbook? He's probably never faced this before. But of course, he has played against the Warden before, but probably not on this map.
The good thing for Infi is that the creep spot got changed where he wants to establish his expansion. So he doesn't have to use the Footman to lure out the Rock Golem. That frees up this Footman. He can do whatever he wants with that, and he goes for scouting. And of course, he goes right to that normal creep spot that Night Elves are doing every single time on Northern Isles. And now, at 2 minutes 30, he has this Warden confirmed, and this is the best item possible. Greater mana potion for him. Infi on the other side, finding a Ring of Protection. Not too bad. Level 2 for him right away. Instant expansion, no green spot before. How much damage can the Warden do? These two players have met each other 28 times. 19 times it went to Infi, but this is the first encounter on patch 1.30. On patch 1.31. On patch 1.30, Infi was in favor 5-1. And that has to do with the Mountain King for sure, and the demise of the Warden throughout that patch. Shadow Strike first. Question is Fan of Knives or Blink? It should be Blink, I guess. Infi's first person here. He's one of the best players to save these peasants in little nooks, but the first Shadow Strike and Fan of Knives hit a lot here, but the Warden is already down to 50%. I don't think she has a staff, so Shadow Meld it is though, to save her for now. Infi has 4 peasants ready, surrounds the Warden here, and yeah, that's the downside if you have no Blink.
Can still go for more peasants here. The damage isn't too high. Got one more of those peasants. Archers actually continue to creep with the Ancient of Wonders. That's pretty cool, and this is where the masterful creeper LawLiet comes in. He's going to go for one more kill. He's going to get that as well. It's going to cost him the TP, though. Greater mana and TP used very early on for a total of 4 peasants, I think it was. Is okay, but that was expensive.
True. He gets close to level 3 with that, though. I don't think the harass did work as intended. Nice idea to get an early shop, by the way, to have access to early clarities and be able to use it for creeping. We usually only see it with Engines of War. Back in the old Terraner Stand days, we've seen it from time to time with the shop, but this is fairly new. This, of course, should delay his tech a little. He's going on 4 archers, which is okay, I guess. Not a super fast tech, so he has to wait a little for Dryads and Tier 2 to come out. How much damage can he do? This time he has a staff. He has not to be afraid of a Mountain King thus far, as Infi's tech will be heavily delayed. And man, expansion,
that
Infi scouts it immediately.
That is going to be a cancel. But look at this cool creeper by LawLiet. Now the Ancient of War is ready for the next camp, as he has produced enough archers after having crept with the shop earlier. But this one footy, this now forces the Warden back. Otherwise, the archers would have gotten level 3 for her, and it would have been a feeding frenzy in the peasant line for the Warden. This scout cannot be overstated. This footy deserves a medal right there.
Absolutely. Level 3 for the Warden is ready, though. Archmage far away from level 3. This will make the life for Dryads a lot easier if Infi doesn't find a solution. Shadow Strike will most likely tick him down.
And Shadow Strike 2, surprisingly.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be Fan.
So more single target damage.
Could make it difficult if Infi was to dive now with footies towards the main or to cancel the Tree of Life. But he's being careful with the footmen so far. They're in the middle. They're not quite yet committing to the tree, but might do it in a second.
The staff was a purchase that costs quite a bit, and so far she couldn't use it to full extent.
Good coverage by LawLiet. Covering the angles here. First the middle, towards the main. Now covering the other entrance with the archers, making sure this Tree of Life won't be reached too easily.
Good block by this footman to keep the Warden away from his first tier, as there are no boots to run away. LawLiet is losing a lot of mana. This will dry out his moon wells fairly quickly. Now there's boots, makes it even harder for the Korean.
But Infi feeling the coverage and the defense for LawLiet is too good. He can't go for the cancel, and that's already a big deal. Like, if the first Tree of Life doesn't get cancelled, comes up in time, this is a good feeling for the Night Elf usually. And yeah, the Tree of Life is pretty far away from the expansion, but it came up early, so it should still be a decent counter-expo timing for LawLiet.
More creeping. Wow, this creep route is pretty insane. Did he deny it? I'm not too sure.
I don't believe he did.
Okay. With the Shredder, speeds things up. Good normal damage from AOW, and even uses a Wisp to detonate against the buffs on this one, on this Furberg.
Level 3 permanent item. The best one would be Pendant. Doesn't get that one, only the ring, which honestly isn't that great. But the Ward is almost level 4, and that is probably more important. Infi misreading the timing here. Does he? He can, of course, just creep himself. I thought he might be looking for a Tree of Life kill. This is something we see TH and Infi oftentimes do. If they don't get the cancel, they actually go for the kill on the Tree of Life.
Tinker second, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, a very unusual pick. We've seen this in one GCS Summer by Foggy in a match against Romantic, but apart from that, not too many prominent picks. Here comes the Cluster Rockets, the spell that we've never seen in a patch prior to 1.30. It has been buffed, and the stun is nice, and it's additional area of effect to this Fan of Knives. And that's the level 4 for the Warden. Fan of Knives got a lot stronger now. Problem is mana still, but he gets the secure kills and more stun. With right clicks, shouldn't be enough. But it's so important for LawLiet to decimate these number of footmen. We say this over and over. If Infi has access to like 6-7 footmen, he can create miracles with this throwaway tier 1 unit. Yeah. And what damage did Infi do so far? I don't think nothing, really.
Yeah, Infi is usually a master of finding great value from these early game footmen, making them work much better than most players in the world are able to do. But exactly, what did he do? He killed 2 archers, I think, max, and he crept the experience of the natural away from LawLiet.
And the little scorpions, that's true. Rifleman coming in for Infi, finding a solution against the Dryads, but only in low numbers, and the front line is basically gone. Mountain King second, obviously. Oh, that's 2 kills for the Warden. Or is it?
This is risky. The MK is coming.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Not enough damage, though. The step will get her out. I feel like LawLiet is on top of his game, man. He is so fast with everything. Archmage is attacking a Wisp. He sees that, detonates it. Warden is basically everywhere, finding right escapes all the time.
Bond of the Wind can also be very nice. Oh, by the way, how efficient is this Agent of War? This is the 4th camp already in this game for him.
The problem might be that Warden and Tinker are very mana hungry. How does he want to support that in the later stages? He needs tier 3 and the super wells, I think. And a lot of clarities. The expansion is running now.
But the line's claiming positioning in the middle of the map. Infi isn't perhaps yet strong enough to go towards the middle. And it's daytime, the heal scrolls are there, and this is so important. We have AoE damage on either side from both these heroes. Infi needs scrolls of healing, but shop control is so important here because there is only one shop. So it feels like Infi is actually not really in fighting shape still, despite all of his supply.
He's calling a lot of militia. How many are those? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9?
Good old 70 supply human push. This is what used to be played for years and years in this matchup before 1.30.
First bear is out, but does he have master yet? I'm not too sure. The Engine of War buys more time, will not help on the defense. Holy shit,
that's so many militia. What the hell? No
that's
wonder he's got so much supply.
The entire NYPD squad right there. Oh, he's not even tier 3. 30% missing! What a great timing by Infi! He has no access to heal scrolls, but protection scrolls. LawLiet needs great dispels. Towers coming in, a low-level Mountain King, and a not super high-level Archmage.
This is do or die, though, probably for Infi. This looks pretty all-in right here, this attack. Warden dropping low already. There's one more rejo ready for her, I believe.
Yeah.
A player's force is
coming in for the detonate, but still plenty of protection left.
Hanging in the ropes for such a long time. Spellbreaker steals the rejo. Well done by the Chinese. And it's just way too much damage. LawLiet can't engage into this. Needs the bears. He's trying for mass repair, but actually holds it for now.
LawLiet could consider giving up the space.
Yep.
He's got a lot of resources still. He's going to be back to no upkeep.
Master Bears will be done in like 20 seconds, a little more maybe.
This position looks very hard to move into. Very difficult indeed. Level 3 almost on the Tinker.
Infi has no lumber, so there's no choice for him to go to tier 3 and get these important upgrades like frag shards and inner fire. There is a timer on this if LawLiet can somehow do more damage against him right now.
Yeah. LawLiet should try to get the next heal scroll, I believe, as well. Should be ready again soon.
This surgical strikes by Infi again. One of his biggest strength against, like, throughout his entire career. Oh, Archmage, though, has no staff, only a TP stun again, but I don't think there's enough damage. There should be a TP very soon. Or he's playing with fire, trying to get the Sasquatch invul potion before TP. Bears are taking care of this breaker. What a nice heal scroll by Infi. Level up for the Tinker. Cluster Rockets just got better. He stays in this fight, and now the town portal out. LawLiet can't do that much damage anymore without mana. God.
That opens up the towers in the north to be taken out now by LawLiet, but can he still counter-expand? Is there still enough time for him? Infi, he barely moved up in supply, by the way. Has been 70, basically. for a long time, but yeah, I agree with you. This has always been one of Infi's biggest strengths. Finding that 70 crisp timing, so much more deadly, so much more quickly. Remember that game from Tomiko against Moon, where he was just running across the map and being distracted and not finding the push, but Infi, he just comes in like a hammer to the expansion just before LawLiet was ready.
Also, his tier 2 tech was so fast, pretty risky actually against the Warden, and then like not wasting time on below 50 supply, not banking, just pushing into upgrades, into upkeep straight away. Now gets this Magnetar.
And also, this Tinker is starting to feel not too impressive, is he? I mean, the Cluster Rockets is kind of nice, but the Panda for the level 1 defense would have been somewhat comparable. And if he had been level 3 now on that Panda, I feel that would be much better, but there must be a good reason for this. The Warden though hits level 5, that's a big deal.
True that. Everything can be attacked by Fan of Knives except the Breakers. There's not too many Breakers. Will he find a solution with that against the Rifleman in the back? He was trying to find Infi. Oh, the Hunter's Hall is gone. No upgrades anymore. I feel like it seems... Oh, what's he doing here? It's losing one Dryad. Exactly. That was the first big mistake of the Korean.
Had the camera elsewhere, it seems. Lots of damage on this Warden. Plus 32, actually.
No TP though. The staff is on the Tinker. One heal scroll, one mana potion. Infi trying to go in with the Zeppelin. LawLiet built another expansion, which is walking over as he took out the towers. Still only 55 supply, and that was nothing really.
For the chase, these Cluster Rockets are pretty nice. Not that much damage, but lockdown.
Oh, tier 3 now. He found enough time. No workshop yet for mortar teams and frag shards. There could be a transition soon to Blizzard. But at the moment, it's not too many Dryads as he took out like 2 or 3.
The Warden didn't have enough time yet, not enough gold, I should rather say, for the Tome of Retraining. So late into the game, you really want to go for Blink. Helps your mobility tremendously. But he never had that 300 gold to spare just lying around. So now this is getting really scary to get into this battle and not get stormbolted to death by this Mountain King.
Yeah, this is not LawLiet's Warden game, really. He started out with the mass damage build, which was the right idea with the big mana potion, I think. But then not having this mobility that makes the Warden so strong hurt her. LawLiet, as you could see in the winner bracket semi-final against 1-0, he wants to be at the expansion, at the gold mine, fan of kniving everything, and take down this economy, but that didn't work at all. Infi's getting the second red spot of the map. The Ancient Django of Endurance was already amazing for the Rifleman for the additional attack speed. This one, not so much, but you want to keep the Mountain King alive, and having more HP and armor helps with that as well. 2 heal scrolls, 1 on each side. Invul Potion only on Infi's side. But the Korean now pushing into the base, trying to keep the supply stuck, which is not too necessary, I feel. No TP on LawLiet's side. This is a base race, as LawLiet will lose the expansion once more, but the first Sanctum's down as well.
Infi's not falling for the bait. LawLiet wanted to draw him back to buy time for the expansion. This just started mining. This gold mine was just entangled, but Infi is playing this too smart. Is not falling for any silly plays like that. But LawLiet has still found enough time to build a big army here at 67 supply. But
Mountain Giants.
Alright.
Decent idea to soak up the damage of the Rifleman with Taunt. There's basically nothing you can do against it. Buying time now, the shop is gone. So with that, he can't build any Mountain Giants anymore. Oh, this dodge with the anti-magic! Brilliant play by LawLiet, but still damage is done. Keeping this Moonwell up was super important to not be stuck. And now he only has 1 MG out, costs 7 supply, and provides 0 damage.
Infi with the smart plays here. He is not doing anything too flashy just yet. This wasn't the most unbelievable micro, this wasn't the most spectacular thing we've ever seen, but it's smart. He's doing the right moves at the right time. He's hitting the right timings. He's going for the correct engagements, and he's not taking any chances. And now his tech will be coming. He had the superior economy for very long, but he was trailing behind in tech. But now he's going to get the master upgrades.
This armor, man, 16.2 armor on the Mountain King. That is so surreal. And I guess the Paladin will be coming soon. So yeah, killing the Mountain King is not an option at all. Archmage getting close to 5. Warden didn't find any kills since arriving on level 5. Tinker gets close to 4, which is nice. Can take out the Zeppelin, maybe. Not really. Expansion coming up again for LawLiet. 5 minutes until, or 4 minutes until the mains expire.
This game is still far from over though. The Warden may not be level 6, but once she gets level 6, she usually eats up tier 2 human armies.
Yeah, that position is not good for LawLiet though. Steps on cooldown, double heal scroll on the Night Elf side. Oh, Workshop coming. Mortars and frag shards.
He's at 78.
So much gold.
Out of 100 supply. He made farms to get up to 100. I think we're going to see a high upkeep army here very soon from Infi.
I haven't seen a direct fight in quite some time. Wonder if... Oh, LawLiet is not even ready for 80. Waiting for and relying on the Tree of Life.
Third attack upgrade. These rifles. Outstanding damage now.
Plus
on the AM, we're going to have Blizzard in a moment.
3 attack upgrades plus the Endurance Aura. Let's not forget about the attack speed. This DPS is insane.
Yeah, the 5% is nice.
Forces are under attack.
More free training. Blizzard time. So much AoE. Clap, Blizzard, frag shards. LawLiet needs more heal scrolls, but Infi stole them.
Yeah. And that was a safe play as well. Perhaps he gets revealed, perhaps he gets attacked, but there was still the TP, which Infi can afford with still, until a moment ago, 1,500, but now he is breaking into high upkeep. We're going to have 90, perhaps 100 human supply with a ton of upgrades.
90 immediately. Immediately. LawLiet producing as well. Should be another mountain giant. But then that's basically it. Maybe another bear.
And what about LawLiet's upgrades are like? Probably not the same as Infi's are.
Shouldn't have had the resources rebuilding the expansion 3 times.
3-0 inner fire. Oh baby! Those are some strong rifles. He's looking for the flute, I think.
If there's a flute, it's gonna be so sick.
Knight's
Basically
coming.
a 4th attack upgrade.
Paladin coming.
Infi still has gold, like 500.
Wow. Infi actually got 6 upgrades this game, as the Knights are 2-1 as well.
Okay, Marketplace basically empty as it seems. Cluster Rockets cancel the Blizzard, of course, and maybe Mass Teleport later. Paladin is coming in as well. This position not the greatest for LawLiet. Blizzard shut down immediately, but by Infi himself. Here comes the Cluster Rocket Field Scroll used against that as well. LawLiet is losing some units there. Knights are going down. Tinker level 4.
These cluster rockets are doing a great job along with the Wand of the Wind to disable this AM as much as possible, but it seems like there's just not enough damage on the Night Elf side, and the Blizzard does do enough damage after all to repel these bears. Warden in the focus fire herself, now out of mana as well, by the way. Zeppelin almost gone. He wants to force the TP here out of the human, but we have the heal store coming in first, and somehow everything's still pretty healthy over there for Infi, and he's forcing the TP out of the Night Elf as LawLiet is trying to get away with the Black Eye, losing one more Dryad down to 68. Infi still at 95 supply. Did he lose anything?
Unbelievable. He lost the Knight, that's for sure, but apart from that, the Paladin was there for the Holy Light. The position was great. The heal scrolls were there. Paladin brings in another heal scroll, and 3 times a charm, Infi thinks, and he knocks down this tree once more. With Mortar Teams now super easy. LawLiet trying to interfere with this. Warden, offensive position. No repair from the Korean though. Mortars take care of this. Repairs too late. Cluster rockets come in, but ooh, is it too late? Should be 2 more volleys maybe. No, he holds for now.
99 supply. Not every day we see this, as Infi has reached seemingly the perfect army. Only thing missing is a higher level Paladin, but it doesn't really seem like he needs it.
The bears get eaten alive. The Mountain Giant's not in range. He wanted to go for the Paladin, but even that is not working. That was the last heal scroll for Infi. Is there more mana for the Warden? A little bit. Maybe aiming for this Archmage. There is a TP. Force him away. Tinker in trouble. Fan of Knives, but it doesn't hit too much. Dryad super hurt. The Mortar Teams can do whatever they want. Blizzard raining on top of that one. Blinks out to keep her safe. But man, this army is ridiculous. And now it's time for the right click on the expansion again.
Well, that's got nothing left. Well, he's got 53, which doesn't sound too bad on paper, but against 93, it's not even close. The Wisps are dead, the focus is coming in, the Mortar Teams are doing the brunt of the damage, and that is the expansion gone. And by the way, we're going to have the main expiring in just a couple of seconds.
No more income for the Korean. Can he buy some time to walk over the Tree of Eternity? That's his last resort. But what's it worth, really? Warden's not close to the ultimate. Tinker is not close to 5. We have some Fairy Dragons as an addition, but that's about it. 93's human supply, knock on the Night Elf door. He has 1 tank, and that's the Mountain Giant. But where's the damage against the Breakers? Spells don't hit them. Dryad piercing damage doesn't affect them one bit. That's gonna be a problem, and the Tinker caught off guard. Dead he is, level up, and that should be even more armor, I guess, as he doesn't really need the invulnerability.
Utterly insane here, this army. Nothing really can do against that anymore with just as little as LawLiet has to bring to the table. Even the level 6 Warden at this point wouldn't do it.
No, because he can't kill anything. It's just... Okay, there would be enough corpses from these Dryads as they are exploding into pieces with the frag shots. Look at this. So sick on the right-hand side of the screen. GG! Infi takes map number 1 and the match points on Terranar Stand and Echo Isles.
With that perfect human army in the late game. Kind of reminding me of the 1.30.4 style that Hawk used to play. Yeah. Fast expansion, mostly ranged army, and then mass upgrades. And get some heroes with decent levels as well. LawLiet had a good idea there with the Warden, but where was the economy harass? Where was the Blink Fan of Knives? Where was the Peasant Slaughter? We never even saw it.
Yeah, I think he was stuck with Shadow Strike Blizzard, even Shadow Strike 2. Maybe with that early staff he can try to walk into that, but Infi SimCity always great, so that prevents the Warden from just running in. That was a tough call. I think it all started when he went for that full damage build, and it didn't really pay off. I mean, he got 3 kills on the Passants, but Infi immediately sent new Militia, was able to finish the expansion in time, and that bigger mana and the delay of level 3 wasn't really worth it.
And so much of that game comes down to this early decision. By the way, also, when he goes in with the damage build, he goes for the AM right away, Shadow Strike, AM runs away, and then the footy block is there immediately. Yeah. If that doesn't happen, the Warden forces the AM with all this mana down to 100 HP, maybe to TP. Suddenly it's super hard to defend. Also, Warden committing so deep for these peasant kills loses the TP. When the push is coming in for Infi, LawLiet could have had the decision, could have gone for the decision to go for the counterattack, and then with the bears, attack the expansion and have an expansion trade.
Well, there were no bears yet.
Yeah, but he can. There was like 2 towers there. He could just break that with Dryads and the 2 heroes. That could have worked. But with the TP being gone, he can't go back. And then he's going to lose his main. So much actually happened there in the first 4 minutes, making this game a lot harder for LawLiet to abuse the Warden as much as he oftentimes otherwise would be able to.
But that was the worst Warden map out of the 3 we have. LawLiet's picked now Echo Isles, the Warden Classic, but that is also very predictable because you need to get the Mercenary Camp for the Warden to really start snowballing. And Infi knowing that, of course, it is a long distance from human base to Night Elf Mercenary Camp, but he can punish that. Even if it's just 1 footman, maybe he can steal the Shadow Priest. Or does LawLiet think that it's too obvious and he decides to go for something entirely different?
And remember, this already we used to see in the old patch, this Mercamp first creep can be greedy, can be exploited. TH, the master of this, Infi not necessarily so much, but he must be aware of this possibility as well. If the Warden goes down there to creep greedily, you can cancel your AM, go for Tinker, and tower rush it.
Yeah.
And that can be absolutely deadly.
Is that still working though with the changed Pocket Factory?
Yeah. It has heavy armor now, that doesn't matter in the early game.
Alright. Map number 2, LawLiet and the first newbie player on the verge of elimination. If LawLiet loses, this would leave us with 1 remaining Night Elf in the tournament. Infi could be the second Chinese to make it into the top 8 right after his Warcraft brother TH. The man with a 250 Warcraft IQ took the lead on Northern Isles. LawLiet's map choice is Echo. Will it be Warden time again, or is it a curveball from the Korean? We will see in a bit. Iceman seems ready, seems prepared. LawLiet had some great ideas, and especially creep routes. Maybe we see something special once more. Map number 2, LawLiet in the blue, in the upper left, in the upper right. We have Infi.
LawLiet is going for the Mercamp. He is not going to be going for a smaller camp to begin with, which most likely means no keeper. This is LawLiet. This is Echo Isles. This should be Warden. But he's also a very good Demon Hunter player. That hero, more limited, I suppose, in the late game, but in the earlier stages, perhaps more reliable. And Infi, how's he going to play against this?
Mountain King first, maybe even?
could be a Mountain King first. Absolutely, we see this here. A decent amount, a good amount actually. Same as on Terranuts. And the Clab level 3 in the super late game is absolutely scary. Which is why Demon Hunter can be a very good choice as well. It's a bit of dice rolling here early on.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, there's a lot of rock, paper, scissors involved in this first hero choice. We have the Warden again, relying on his strength, and Infi picks the counter pick, which is the Mountain King. That could have been a Demon Hunter on LawLiet to counter the Mountain King, but no, he wants to dominate again with Warden. LawLiet, as I said, been around for 8.5 years, not a single premier title yet. He had the silver medal at WCA 2016 and the second place at H&W Masters this year, but his only big tournament wins were team events. WCA China vs Korea and next China vs Korea, and also the winter edition with Team Lin. Still waiting for that big solo title, just as Focus, for example. Infi, of course, he can fight for his own. There's a lot of world championships to his chest.
The first Shadow Priest pickup here is really important. I'm surprised LawLiet is giving it away so easily. As the Shadow Priest goes to Infi. Infi just dispelled the archers. Did he forget that you can't dispel the lightning shield like that? Wasted a bit of mana. Perhaps it will be important, perhaps it won't. Warden gets the first bit of experience, wants to get the big creep here. Pendant of Energy by far the best ring. Not so much. But with a footy here as well, this is already a little bit annoying. This is a little bit troublesome. But the Ancient of War doesn't die. He gets level 2. So it's actually looking fine.
Yeah, I agree. Shadow Priest stolen, save some resources for LawLiet, which should result in an earlier expansion or earlier tech. His tech, was it on time? I'm not too sure. Footman in the main is annoying. So Infi has once again a lot of information, seeing that the tech is not running yet. Warden, of course, on the way to level 3.
Very important now for LawLiet to get the Berserker. Infi may want to try to steal that one away, spamming at the Merc camp. But does Infi really have the resources? Actually, he doesn't. He's pretty broke right now. Expo coming up for LawLiet right away, even before that of the human. But with power build, of course, Infi will be the player with a faster expansion at the end of the day. Footy. Did he see it?
It was still daytime. Don't know if the trees blocked the vision.
He's moving over for the cat.
But okay, yeah, that should confirm that he saw it. Wisp is ready for the Berserker. Who has the faster
can't lose this one.
He needs the Berserker so desperately.
It's going to be ready in a moment. Both want it. LawLiet needs it though. LawLiet gets it. Footy was moving away from the Mercraft. Perhaps a bit of a mistake there.
Does he want to invest the second Shadow Strike to kill it? Oh, doesn't even need it. 3 Footmen and the Shadow Priest. Immediately exchanging the first spell, Stormbolt and Shadow Strike. Oh, bash! A couple of additional hits. The Warden is tanking a lot here, trying to get the better trades with that Ring of Protection +4. But this is dangerous now. Basically a Berserker to hold this on his own. Getting out of range of the Stormbolt. One Stormbolt and the Warden is dead. Second Shadow Priest for Infi. Just walking out of Stormbolt range. Gets the Archer and the expansion. Infi once again on top of this game.
And if this first Shadow Priest hadn't gone to Infi, this would all be looking very, very differently. Again, I have to ask. Wow. Didn't he give that away too easily?
One base. Infi not expanding.
One base MK play.
Tier 2 tech and expansion on LawLiet's side. But the Warden progress has been stopped for quite a while. Not only the expansion killed, but also the Warden couldn't really roam freely as she wanted to, not getting kills. Now with the expansion creep spot, that will help a bit.
This is going to be a level 3. Level 2 Shadow Strike most likely. Okay, Militia are coming. This might just be for creeping though. Yeah, looks like it's just for creeping. Over at the marketplace, MK, of course, also a hero who is heavily reliant on his own level 3. Going to be making use of clarities here soon as well. So what's he going to be doing on tier 2? AM second, most likely, I think, and casters, but push or expand. These are the two options that we should be expecting. A tier 3 play would be utterly unusual. It already is, actually. One base MK play is not what we see normally. And here the LawLiet show begins with a staff in and the worker harassed from the ward.
And this time we have the Fan of Knives level 2. Infi's workers are blocking themselves a little. Can the cooldown get out? He gets a double kill. Okay, but he has to wait until the staff is off cooldown again with right clicks. Is it enough to kill this tower? It is!
Oh.
Even getting the out? Not really, though. The entire army is coming back. Steph only at 30%. Warden once again forced into the TP. But how much damage can she do and how much time can she buy? It is night. He can get into Shadow Melt. Exactly. There's no dust.
This is so annoying right now. He can just stand here around here until the telestaff is ready again. There's no means of detecting this Warden.
Ancient Protector. He expects a push and he's at 23 supply only. It kind of looks like Infi is expanding though.
Good splitting here by Infi, leaving a couple of footies in the main. That should be enough to deal with this Warden, along with perhaps Militia.
Where's the Fan of Knights again?
All players' forces are under attack.
One more footy. If he targets these peasants, perhaps he can get a few more of those as well. But this Knight of Expo is faster than the Human Expo. This is not something we see every day.
And Huntress transition. Getting ready for the tier 2 hero at the tavern. No mana anymore, but the staff is almost ready. Once again, great observer work here at WGL. Moves away from the tavern. Maybe rethinking it, trying to play her solo. But you need something for this early defense, don't you?
Are under attack.
Oh, this one Huntress. Just for the harass over at the gold mine. So good.
But still here. Right-clicking. He has to move the peasants away. That's super annoying.
And the one Huntress can actually pick off the peasants along with the berserkers that are being sent out and trying to be saved against the ward. Dude, LawLiet is playing one hell of a game here on map 2.
Archmage second has to staff out now. Mountain King is far away, can't cancel that. Was that damage enough? He delayed the second hero if he wants to play one, and he delayed tier 3 and the lures for a bit of protection and this Huntress play. First heal scroll, there's only one shot on the map, of course, goes to Infi with that Mountain King movement. Archmage being caught a little bit off guard.
Blocked.
Here. Warden comes in, has the
squishiest hero in the game.
Needs to get the Shadow Strike off, and that's a lot of time, a lot of distraction from Infi as the Mountain King can cancel the Entangled Gold Mine. Shouldn't be enough to get the tree as the damage is super low. Engine of War kills with 1 footman in a bit. Actually Infi saved with 13.
Interesting game now. LawLiet going for the counter-attack, but he can't blink in, he can't staff in.
Wait a second, there's no blacksmith.
True.
Can't go for Rifleman at the moment. Of course, Berserkers are an option.
There's one coming up in the back now. LawLiet is trying to buy time, trying to distract. He wants to muster a bigger force and then TP to his expansion to save it, I suppose. He's just letting it go.
No wisps here.
Just gonna give it up.
Thinks one base play is enough.
Yeah, he couldn't defend yet. The level 2 Stormbolt would have killed all of his units too easily there. MK is pretty low though, but I guess he has a healed scroll.
The town is under siege.
Dryad's coming tier 3 a lot earlier than before, but Infi takes out this Moonwell. LawLiet has a backup Moonwell, so he can go on to 40 supply at least. Warden needs level 4, creeps that up with Huntress doable, but this is poison damage that he takes. I feel like he's losing the grip on Infi's throat.
But of course against this strong MK, it's really hard to do anything with just tier 2, tier 1 for the most part units. And then tier 2 units, the Dryads are magic immune, okay. Don't do the most damage though.
Ooh, saving a lot of priests, but LawLiet finds them. Again, no blink, the lack of mobility, also no boots here hurt him in the long run for the second time already.
One priest will be his prize. Oh, and the rifle, of course, can't get into the base.
Double block, basically. That's 3 kills for the Korean.
Yeah, and if he loses the Huntresses, this is fine. This will be a great trade for him.
But still, Infi got basically 400 gold by killing this expansion. And puts the timer on stop, because there's no push to be done yet. Bears are coming. Riju will be helpful. Yep. 4.5 Warden. Still plays her solo.
She needs to be level 5, then she's a good fighter against the tier 2 human army. If she gets level 6, she kind of defeats the whole tier 2 human army by herself. Tier 1 base tier 2 human army, that is. Infi now. Is he satisfied with his damage? Is he gonna go expand himself? Doesn't really look like he has the lumber to do that, though.
Clarity running again. Tier 3 is done. No Orb of Venom yet. Can't really afford it. Super low lumber, but I guess that's due to the Master Bear upgrade.
Okay, also looking fine on levels. Tier 4 already. AM is having a bit of a tougher time. Will be level 2 at least. Aura is a big help. There we go.
Finally, yes, that took some time. 11 minutes in, only now level 2, and there's not much to creep on the map anymore. The turtles in the bottom right and bottom left-hand side of the map. Good right clicks from the Mountain King should maybe give it over to the Archmage soon. And LawLiet is taking the time for the level 5.
It's gonna be nighttime again soon. I would love for another Wisp to be snuck into the human main. Use the tele staff again.
He's trying it, but Infi finds him.
Still a Wisp in the south, perhaps can make use
Handant
of
of
this.
energy board on Infi's side.
Alright. 300 gold, but it's a very good item. Warden would love to have that here as well from the Gargantuan.
Again, the tanky one. Infi pushing with 50. LawLiet has a TP, might be forced in it. Master Bears are out, first breakers as well. Reju can be stolen, the IP is still ready.
Has to repair. Has to repair.
Yeah, the first Wisp got killed, but that's one Stormbolt gone.
Water Elementals are free experience, basically. Infi may want to consider not spawning them. They're only level 1 anyways. Not like they're doing that much.
Players at around 50 supply. Infi a little higher, LawLiet a little lower. Reju is running. So, Fan of Knives did good, but not hitting too much important stuff. Militia are coming in. Good focus fire on the Mountain King. He has a lot of mana and damage, but it's not the tankiest one. We have seen stronger with a 16 armor in game 1, for example.
And Infi is respecting this force, is respecting this level 5 Warden, isn't gonna commit everything. The Militia were called, but now the Militia are retreating.
I think LawLiet is expanding again. In the bottom left.
Absolutely. Showing how confident he is, I suppose. TP out, I would love to get some more kills. Every little kill gets him closer to 6.
Also losing a Huntress, but that's fine. LawLiet is so short on lumber. That might be a problem. Infi, though, still in upkeep. He's losing a lot of gold with this.
LawLiet's kind of rich. Although he could go to the shop now, go for the heal scroll perhaps,
The
but
player's forces are under
not
attack.
gonna do it. They could have had the time, he has tele staff, but alright. Oh, miss rally. That's a rare mistake from Infi. Gonna lose.
Uses a fan for this, completely out of mana. No Staff of Preservation, can't save this bear no more. Infi is spooning. Oh.
Staff!
Oh, beautifully done.
Last second.
The second great micro move by LawLiet in this series after the bolt dodge with the anti-magic.
Should really go for the Orb of Venom though, shouldn't he? Is that 50 supply now?
I think he needs a Town Portal and he needs maybe a Tome of Retraining. Maybe even Boots. Like he could use a lot of items.
Orb
now.
is really good though, especially when you're looking for kills, and he is looking for kills. Close to 5.5 now.
But he's buying time for this expo. He's forcing little fights, not losing too much in the process, getting a lot more Dryads. 50 supply for both of them. Infi, Yumiko-esque, creating safe spots. He doesn't like to hear that, but Yumiko came up with it.
One more Dryad lost there. Kind of a scrappy army from Infi. We have not a big force assembled at all. Not even an upkeep. The human.
Again, Militia coming in. No heal scroll on LawLiet's side. That hurts. Infi's keeping the army far in the back to fight the Warden with his heroes. Lots of Stormbolts used already. It's nighttime, and there's quite a few Moonwells here. Does he have the Super Wells? Not yet.
Mark of the Claw coming in. Roar can be used then. We don't have the breaker numbers to steal it all.
LawLiet's expansion is up. Not mining yet, I think. No, still entangling for 30 seconds. Towers are up, though. LawLiet can't chase too much.
Towers are establishing a nice fortified position, but it's not like we have mortars to put some damage or some pressure on these buildings. Yeah, we have a bit of rifle shots coming in now and then, but he doesn't even have to repair just. I think LawLiet is kind of satisfied with the position, despite that he's in kind of a contain.
I really like LawLiet has supply freed up to 80, so it doesn't matter if he loses these Moonwells there, he can still produce. Good damage now. Dryad see the towers, shut them down. First hero for Infi down to 50%. No real healing. And again, the staff to save one bear. Infi needs damage now. He needs to get something done. He's just walking into a void for a minute and a half.
Has he scouted the expansion?
I'm not sure.
If he has, he's going to have to commit here soon. I mean, obviously, the time is going in favor of
Player's
LawLiet.
forces are under
LawLiet knows that there's no counter expansion, so he's safe. He can just stay in his base and assemble a 70-80 supply army and then try to break this push.
Absolutely. Infi needs to come up with something smart. He's got the worst tech, he's got the worst economy,
Sees it now.
and he's got the smaller army.
Kind of knife gets kills done. There's not enough healing. Does he commit
Okay.
now? 10 supply lead basically. Shadow Strike. Okay, he has to get out soon.
Heal scroll. Gets back
Oh,
to healthy.
Archmage in the middle of everything! The bear shuts this around. Can he get him out somehow? Doesn't seem like it. Archmage falls from the horse. Does not look good for the Mountain King here. There's no Shadow Strike, but oh, there is actually! Town Portal must be used. No! GG out! We go full distance once again. LawLiet strikes back.
Interesting game, scary game. There was very unusual as well. We had a lot of base trading going on, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of giving up on property, on real estate. But the most important thing, I guess, was the Warden. Getting her to that fighting shape, getting her to level 5. And human armies, we've been seeing them be very scary in this tournament already. But on only one base, it's hard to assemble this big, scary human force. This was just mostly casters, a couple of breakers, a couple of rifles. But the Warden was good enough there to do it kind of by herself with the help of the bears.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that Infi didn't go for an expansion on Echo. In the long run, I think that cost him the game. That was weird timings to push as well. I think he was very comfortable after killing the expansion and thought, okay, I'm gonna push you. You lost that 400 gold, but as you said, the Warden got a lot of stuff done in the meantime. Crept to a very good level. This turtle creep on the bottom left was quite a risk. But he had a lot of wisp on the map, I think good vision everywhere, so he was sure that he's able to take this. And then the second expansion was a very good choice after doing damage to Infi's economy, knowing that everything is slowed down, he doesn't have to expect the 70 supply push, found the time, and it's really hard from the human side of things to trade nicely against like 7 Moonwells in the main. And instant reinforcement, and the shop.
That level 5 creep in the bottom was absolutely crucial though, I think. Level 5 Warden is a decent fighter. Level 4 she doesn't do much anymore, honestly, when we're at 50, maybe 60 supply. And yes, that creep got her level 5, but if she hadn't gone to the human main before, killed the peasants, killed the footies, killed more peasants with the other units that were moving out, this creeping of her left side of the map wouldn't have been enough. Also, the staff, of course, was expensive for Infi, having to disrupt his mining and slowing everything down that he was wanting to do. So this staff, once again, outstanding play. One of the moves that made this possible for LawLiet.
Yeah, and definitely an improvement compared to map 1, where the staff didn't really do anything except get her out of one position where she was stormbolted, I think. So this time the staff used offensively compared to defensively. Yeah. And since it was nighttime, she could hide in the shadows, which is, of course, what everyone knows. Infi had no dispel, and that's what got him into a weaker position than he had on map 1. Now, it's Infi's map choice though, but that map is also one of the strongest Warden maps there is. Terranas Stand will decide this. Will the second Rogue Warrior be eliminated by Infi, or will it be the first newbie player after 1-2-0 making it in this very group into the top 8? It could be an utter disaster for China, as we said. Fly is still in the race and Infi, but Infi is one map from being eliminated. The Iceman, is he melting? Will he withstand the power of the Warden again? Map 3, stakes so high. One of the favorites will fall in the round of 16, and we will determine who.
Just like the last map, this is already a bit of dice rolling going on in the beginning. The Warden is a very good hero, but against the MK, she can have trouble. MK is a very good hero himself, but against a Demon Hunter, he can have some issues, whereas the Demon Hunter can start to feel underwhelming in the super late game, unless he gets level 6. So, which player is going for which strategy? Are we just going to go 2 base versus 2 base, or is someone looking for an earlier push here once again? And what's the creep route gonna tell us? Ancient of War, not towards the natural, not for the instant gold mine creep. You can do the gold mine with the Keeper of the Grove, certainly, also with the Demon Hunter, as I recently learned. Doing it with the Warden, though, with her subpar right-click damage, perhaps not too easily doable. I'm definitely going to be expecting the Warden here, and an MK wouldn't surprise me either.
True. That would be the standard. Archmage is pretty unlikely. Demon Hunter is possible. Okay, Mountain King it is. And now, Demon Hunter or Warden? Warden.
All right.
Yep.
Rematch from Echo.
Rematch indeed. This is once again a very predictable creep route by LawLiet. It should be Merc Camp and then Natural. So Infi will find the time to punish this and to harass this.
Yeah,
Only focus on himself.
Last match, honestly, he played it very unusually. Usually MK always is going to be level 3 creep quickly plus an expansion. That gives you a lot of time, but Infi's saying, no, I can also play this just one base, tier 2 tech. However, we saw the limitations of that in the late game. You can't just get your super high levels too easily. You can't just get your super big army too easily. So now, Infi, does he want to play it more passively? He's going to go Merc Camp into expansion. Same for LawLiet. So this might be a rather pacifistic early game for at least the first couple of minutes.
True that. Or
Players'
we
forces
see
are
Warden
under
aggression. That would be very unlikely. So it should be level 2 creep, depending on the items. That can be a very aggressive Warden, though. The booster speed cannot be found anymore thanks to the Blizzard patch recently, but Pendant of Energy can make her very strong. Same goes for the Mountain King, though. So item drops here at the Merc Camp are pretty important. Footman is harassing this Wisp, so no repair anymore. This time the Shadow Priest goes to LawLiet. A little bit of healing. Scroll of the Beast. Can be good for a Huntress push, but I doubt we'll see that. Big Invul Potion for the Mountain.
Also, if LawLiet should find himself under pressure before his tier 3 has come to fruition yet, kind of like we saw before Master Bears were done yet, this scroll could be nice, but also 200 gold is a nice bit of an economic edge if you sell it early.
Yeah, especially when a lot of stuff is about timings for tech and stuff. Mountain King can hide now, even during daytime. Can protect him from Warden right-clicks after a Shadow Strike, for example. And Infi is expanding this time. He's mixing it up. No one-base play anymore.
Is scouting. The MK is already really low mana, by the way. Another detonate and he's going to be at 100 only, but the Warden is playing this rather passively in the middle, going for the item carrying creep, getting the circlet.
Pistol bolt for Infi. No pendant for him.
Where did he scan? He didn't scan the expansion. He scanned the main? I wonder.
Or did he scan the bridge to see if the Warden is
Town
coming?
is under siege.
I'm looking for the circlet as well. The circle as well. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I think it's at the bridge.
But nope, the Warden is just creeping, still getting another circlet, which is nice for her. MK would love to get some stat items, would have loved to get some stat items early on as well for more mana. Got none of that. No mana potion.
Double circlet. Kind of gives her more mana.
MK.
Ah, MK. Sorry. Tier 2 on the way. Expansion as well. On pretty much only LawLiet's side so far. Berserker bought as well. Infi, of course, knows. And he thinks he assembled a big enough force to strike already. Expo's not done yet, but will be.
Well, now he's going back across the
Yeah.
bridge. I think
Indecisiveness from Infi?
I think he saw with his footy on the other bridge the Wisp coming in, and he didn't want to get telestaffed again.
Ah.
Maybe.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Warden Ring of Regeneration can be decent if he goes to the base again and hides there. This time, Infi scans for the expansion. Oh, this Ancient! Love to see if he dies or not, but no.
Won't probably need it too much for production anymore, but for static defense at the expansion, it's still very nice. Tree of Life done now. Hunter's Hall in a very obscure position, but alright.
A player's forces
So
are
Expo
under
done
attack.
for Infi. It's a little earlier than the Night of Expansion, but therefore the tech is heavily delayed. How much does this crystal ball help now? Infi. It's basically the Eye of Saruman. You can like scan.
Pierce flesh and stone and bone or whatever it is. If Grubby's watching, he's going to appreciate that Lord of the Rings quote. It's nice. I mean, it's a bit of scouting every minute. I don't even know what the cooldown is. Used to be sold all the time as it gave so much gold. Nowadays has been moved to the lower loot drop table. So it's kind of nice. You know, it's going to... Most of the time, I think, especially on this level, it's good for confirmation. You're kind of expecting something already, and then with that, you can get the confirmation and then go for the ideal play, perhaps.
Warden found the Robe of the Magi. More mana for her. Also, if she drops it and uses the Moon Wells, that gives her a little more mana while regeneration. But I think both players are okay with PvE for now. LawLiet is waiting for the second hero, close to level 4. Oh, staffing in. The Taskmaster goes to LawLiet.
Wow.
Item, of course, to the human, but he gets level 4 with that, and more damage can be done. Almost trying to dodge this. And Infi has to TP out, more damage done. Oh boy, that gave him a lot of XP.
What a
play.
Dude, also this Wisp. You see this little hole where he's in?
Yeah.
He's basically unreachable.
Yeah.
And LawLiet setting up the perfect ambush there. Damn. LawLiet and his Warden. It's just such a treat.
And he like, this is 4 years in a row where he impresses us with a Warden, and he always finds new ways to make her shine.
Yeah.
Sick. Infi.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
This does not look like too much confidence anymore. Shaking his head there a little, understandably so. Warden and Mountain King were basically neck and neck in experience, and whoever reaches level 5 first gets a big advantage. Now, where to get this necessary experience for the MK? It's not only that the Warden got level 4, but this experience was denied, and so he's not level 4.
Small lag there. LawLiet kind of holding his breath, having a mini heart attack. Don't you give him your regame right here, dude. Because this was a very good start for the Warden. MK is creeping up a lot, though, getting level 4 now himself. But second hero, whatever it's going to be, AM most likely, where is he going to creep? It's kind of like the corner base top right, and that's it. That's the only thing he can go for.
That's going to be hard to even get level 2.
The sentry ward's so good right now.
Yeah, Infi knows. Is there enough anti-air in the base, though? Can't we be quick enough?
Sentry wards still very good, have been tremendously nerfed. Oh, there's no defense in the main.
No, not at all.
But the footies are coming.
But there's also no anti-air. Like, he can just use his insane Zeppelin micro. I think the first Rifleman is coming, as well as the Archmage. But the drop is coming in. LawLiet, unloading with a lot of mercs. Trying to end this game. Oh, the dodge again! Third time in a row in this series. Mountain King is forced into this big healing already. Now a little bit of anti-air is coming in, but that harass didn't do too much, but forced Infi back. And again, what is like this showing the strength with his micro there, and this could happen all the time to Infi now. He has to be aware there is a Zeppelin. LawLiet could be in my base all the time, and that's happening once more.
Units into the main. I thought perhaps one towards the expansion, but no. Looking for more damage, but he doesn't really get anything.
Nope, just doing damage. Oh,
this sentry ward.
So close!
The sentry ward is saving the mid game for Infi. Otherwise, every peasant kind of would have died in the main. There would have been no mining. This warden would have been level 5. This sentry, worth a ton of gold.
Oh, second Zeppelin. That's quite a big investment now, and he's faking another drop. Is he going to the expansion with that now? Just showing the Zeppelin, moves it back. Wow.
Oh, this would be kind of
That's exactly what he's doing. The expansion is exposed. There are 2 towers and a shredder. It's not that easy, but economy damage will be done. Infi gets more vision with the flare, but that's going to take some time. Drop the expansion. How much damage is there? Oh yeah, 2 fan of knives.
The quick reaction with the peasants. So far, none have died. One more fan is ready.
Zeppelin crashed. So he has to get a TP out, but woo, double kill there. Triple kill.
Yeah,
Oh, shredder kill. Level 5. This could be it already. What a play. Again.
And that is the harassment warden that has won LawLiet so many games. It took a while to make her work. The sentry ward almost was saving Infi, but now more and more kills are raining in. So many peasants killed off, some footies as well for good measure, and suddenly this warden is level 5
and LawLiet has 1,500 gold. Can use it now. Is level 5.5, out leveling the Mountain King so hard. Infi has been outsmarted. A sentence that I say maybe once every 3 years.
Yeah, this warden, damn. Man, is working out really well. And now we have to think back on the vetoes. Was it the right choice to leave in this map and veto Amazonia? Questionable.
Yeah.
Against LawLiet? Questionable.
Dispel upgrades, but everything is so slow for Infi now. LawLiet will explode into 70 supply. Town Portal and Heal Scroll, playing it safe, not overcommitting. We've seen this so many times in this tournament. Once the underdog, in quotes here, has the lead, he tends to blow it by too early aggression.
Are under attack.
Third Zeppelin in this game for the Korean.
There's a flying machine now, which is very good for vision, for scouting.
And anti-air damage. More towers by Infi. This is all gold that does not go into army. Warden with the staff again. Just has to get out of range of the Mountain King. Now we have bears even. Gyrocopter has been taken out. Warden is not reaching yet. Trying to dodge the Arcane. And he does so by just killing it. And here comes the Fan of Knives once more. Holy shit, a gigantic jump onto level 6. And that would be the Avatar of Vengeance. He's losing a fairy, but now it's Archmage hunting time as it seems. Right click and Shadow Strike and Fan of Knives forced into the Invul Potion. Stormbolt reaches her, but only level 2. She can withstand that. Heal Scroll. Is there enough damage for the Warden to get through this Invul? No. Has to TP out before, but once again, the economy of Infi has been wrecked at level 6.
Gets it on the way out. I thought he would be able to prevent this. Kind of decent salvage, but so hard to keep everything alive. Warden had to TP out there. The Stormbolt was cooling down. And if you lose the hero, that's perhaps the one way you lose this game, as LawLiet is skyrocketing up to 67 supply. Can go up to 80 here in a moment's notice.
Infi feels desperate. 58 supply push. The Warden summoned the Avatar, sends it to the expansion. There's so many corpses, and the Warden ultimate will of course use these corpses to create some Spirits of Vengeance who can't be dealt with. They are invulnerable, can't be dispelled. Infi is on the verge of being eliminated at 60 food. He has a Mana Stone, that's good. Trying to push this expansion now with mortar teams. Warden is there though. Oh, staffing to the main army. Can't staff back to hold this. Wants to kill the expansion, and Infi is abandoning that spot already.
Alright, we're gonna have a base trade here perhaps. LawLiet, does he think that's a wise choice, or is he going to try to come to defend? He's going to come to defend. Shop will be taken out. That's actually a nice pick-off to begin with. And the Warden, Fan of Knives, starting things off. Where is the Avatar of Vengeance?
It's at the expansion still. It's at the expansion still, trying to do some damage. They are not helping in this defense. Infi forced into the TP. How many kills? 1, 2, GG! He's out! Infi not going to the playoffs for the second time, and that big smile on his face. He did not believe in himself too much going into this map. He was complaining about Human and especially Infi's playstyle, but he did it. Warden 3 times, was down a map, but then he found his Warden mojo and made it work. The magic that is LawLiet's Warden. Infi, just like WCA 2015, didn't find a solution.
Yeah.
And there's only one more Chinese who can make it into the top 8, and that is Fly. Rogue Warrior is number 2 eliminated.
So awesome to see. And it oftentimes doesn't matter what patch it is. It doesn't matter what the stats are, the most recent version of the unit. It's about the players. It's LawLiet and his Warden who makes it work and defies the meta, does what he does best, and gets the victory and another top 8 at least placement here for him at WGL.
One of the top 4 favorites eliminated. This happens at basically every WGL. This was the group of death. One of the strongest players had to be eliminated. Going into this tournament, who thought it would be Infi? I certainly did not. He was my number 1 pick for winning this group. But against 1-2-0, he was outplayed hard, not able to find him, let him level. And here, he had no solution against the expected Warden.
I think that was his one big downfall, not being too ready for the Warden. But this is looking worse for Infi than it was. Like, we can't almost, I feel, blame him for not making other groups. The other 2 players just played insanely well, especially 1-2-0 was unbelievable. And LawLiet also playing really well. Infi didn't dominate like he used to dominate Foggy, for example, in the past, but he still played well. It's not like he played badly, but this group was just insane.
He was the weakest out of 3 Giants. Didn't step up his game as much as the others did, I think it's fair to say. So the second Night Elf in the top 8, and that's the max. Those are the only 2 remaining, as 4 Night Elves were eliminated yesterday. Moon and LawLiet, the Koreans, stand strong as they basically were throughout Warcraft history, with 2 strong Night Elves here. There's gonna be an Orc making it into the top 8, as the next match will be Cash versus Focus. LawLiet also the second newbie player. They dominate Group A. Second Rogue Warrior out there. Lin could still make it for 100% newbie coverage in the top 8. And yeah, for RW, there's only Fly remaining.
Who has already lost the previous match against the opponent he was going up against later, Chimiko. So not the greatest chance there perhaps for him, unless he found something new.
True. He had some days to practice. Of course, he had to play yesterday, Chimiko 2 days ago, so a little bit more time for the Koreans to prepare for this, as he, I think, was pretty sure that Fly would make it against Hunter and just assumed that result. Gonna be interesting, man. In Group D later, we have Lin versus Sok for you, so another Orc versus Human. Yeah, here we go. The standings of Group A. Infi defeating OC, but that's his only win, as 1-2-0 and LawLiet, both newbie players, ring him down. Tag team action, basically. OC 4th, Infi 3rd, LawLiet 2nd, and 1-2-0 1st. That's the conclusion of Group A.
Next up, we have Group B for our second match of the day, which is going to be Korea versus Russia. We're going to have a chance again to see LawLiet on stage. Does he still have that big smile on his face? Yeah, you were absolutely right. Like, he was sounding almost desperate before this game going up against Infi. He's actually even asking us what we would recommend. And we said the ward and it worked for once. We came up with a good piece of advice, Neo. I'm kind of proud of us.
Yeah, me too. It's always the case, like, don't change your strategies too much. Rely on what it's working, or what you know is working. He, like, imagine he plays something he hasn't practiced so much before, and then he doesn't have the mechanics for it and loses because of one executional mistake. That was absolutely not the case here. He just found new ways with his old love to overwhelm his old arch enemy.
There are weird legendary games like this one WCG Twisted Meadows game from Grubby where like Alchemist plays against Pit Lord, but that's not what you normally want. Normally you want to stick with what you've practiced, you want to stick with what you're good at and with what you're used to and comfortable. And LawLiet, he is the master of the Warden. Foggy is also extremely good with her, but LawLiet brought the lady into the spotlight, was pushed away, was pushed off stage by the keeper for a long time in 1.30, but she is back.
Absolutely, absolutely. Even though she had no buff recently, she is back.
If played well on decent maps, still absolutely powerful. And Echo Isles and Terranos have always known to be good for her. And I think this is going to be a wake-up call for many humans now against LawLiet. Don't give him TS.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't give him TS. Maybe even, yeah, well, maybe expand on Echo as well. So yeah, congrats to LawLiet. Congrats to newbie dominating Group A. 5 out of 8 players have been found. The next one is going to be an Orc. Will he come from Korea and be the 3rd Korean after Moon and LawLiet? That would be Focus. Or will we, for the very first time, get 2 Western players in the top 8? Cash from MTW is stepping in the ring after defeating Colorful yesterday very convincingly. Now, he played Focus before in an Orc mirror. Today, as far as I know and heard, he will play Human. He defeated Foggy in the qualifiers with the Human race. He's no stranger to that. He's basically the European Infi when it comes to race versatility. Can also play the Night Elves. But yeah, that's gonna be the question. Human or Orc? I have heard it's Human, and does Focus? No, we will see. It's gonna be an exciting match. In Orc versus Orc, Cash basically had no chance when it was a straight-up game and the series game. Now, things will change, certainly. And yeah, there would be a gigantic success for the Western scene if Cash